Hi.
Hello.
I'm Wilt from Comic Book Therapy, like you said earlier.
Great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys too.
Shinji Aramaki, the director, and I'm Joseph Chou, I'm the producer.
Okay. I'd like to start off by saying that this latest Appleseed, I really enjoyed it. It was really cool.
Great.
I love that the style of the animation changed in terms of being more towards kind of like the photorealistic as opposed to the last two films being kind of cel shaded. I think that really lent to the way that the mechs look. They look really wonderful. The cyborgs look really great. And I just wanted to say that off the bat, that it's really cool.
Thank you very much.
Starting off, I just wanted to talk about some of the stylistic differences between some of the cyborgs, like between Two Horns and Talos. There's a real big difference in their styles. With a lot of Two Horns and his gang, they had mouths and everything. They look kind of like real grimy and dirty, and just really kind of like street level, really kind of the ones left behind. And then Talos and his team, they felt like really kind of cold. You didn't see their faces. They didn't really have much. They had an instant inkling of human form, but not quite, which kind of made them look real villainous. Was that kind of like a stylistic choice? And did it really was it really to push the differences between the classes in the Appleseed universe?
やっぱりサイボーグのデザインのスタイルの違いに関して質問したいんですけど、例えばタロスとかタロス側を見てるとやっぱりすごいもう本当に綺麗でいろんなやっぱりどっかの組織が来たようなそういった姿をしていて、でやっぱりもう総括のチームを見ると本当にもう残されたようなジャンクみたいな感じだったので、やっぱりクラスの違いとかっていうこと
もちろんまさにそういうことを表現するためにデザインラインを変えたっていうのが今回のチャレンジというかデザイン、僕らはそういうそのデザインをすごく楽しんだんですけど、やっぱりタロスって実はあんまりバックグラウンドで説明するシーンがないので、もう見ただけでこいつどういうやつかっていうのがもうちょっと嫌なやつですごい綺麗なんだけど絶対こいつエリートな細胞なんだけどきっと嫌なやつだろうっていうのが分かるようなルックにしたかったんですね。だからそれでいてちょっとノーブルなところもあったりとかっていうのがで、それを守ってるそのミュクスっていう細胞がちょっとそれと近いんだけどもっと多分戦闘用でギミック入ってんだろうなみたいな感じとか、だからそういうのがデザインで伝わったっていうのはすごく僕らの狙いがすごくうまくいったっていうことですごく嬉しいです。
I think the design process he enjoyed very much for this film. And I think you're right in terms of showing class difference. I mean that was one of the obvious choices that we had to make. But then when it comes to, for example, Talos, his thought was that we didn't have a lot of scenes to explain Talos' background.
Okay.
So it looks clean. It looks like he's an elite, but looks dangerous and also something really disturbing about him. Right. I think that he wanted to convey that through the look of the character. Sure. So that was that kind of thought actually went into that. And same with Nyx. The design, like she seems dangerous. She seems like mechanically very.
Right, a lot of hard edges.
There's something going on there. That something that we don't know about her. That and that she could transform, or a lot of gimmicks inside.
Sure.
But very dangerous.
Okay.
So that's something you wanted to convey through design. So if that actually translated through the screen, then basically that's what he was aiming for, and so he's very happy that you caught that.
Yeah, it was great because it was just real stark contrast, just between Two Horns. Every other cyborg minus Bree and I can't remember how to say her name.
Briareus and Dunan?
Yeah, Briareus and Dunan. Everybody else just looked totally different. So that these guys, it was focused that these two were going to be the main focus of the movie, while everybody else they had their part. Two Horns and his team, they're like I said before, their designs are totally more humanoid, so you feel more down to earth with them. They have mouths, they have emotions, you can see their eyes. Whereas Talos and his team, just everything was real clean, real sharp, dangerous, and just you don't know what they could do. And it's just real. For me, it's real kind of scary when you can't see somebody's eyes. And I thought that was it was a real good touch to that.
目がやっぱりスタイル的にやっぱりすごい気に入って、いろんなやっぱりキャラクター性がデザインで伝わってきたし、でもタロスに行くとやっぱりもう大好きだったのはやっぱり目が見えないというか本当に不安な感じがするので、 これは本当にいいチョイスだったと思いますね。
すごくそう言ってもらえると嬉しいです。
Very happy to hear that. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Also, I felt that when I got to the end of the movie, I felt it was left really open ended, and I was just wondering if there was going to be any more continuation between the Alpha into the original 2004 film where Dwayne wakes up in Olympus. Do you guys have any other plans to flesh out that story in between?
まあかのオープンエンドでオープンエンドの結末だったんですけれども、まあそれってだってなんか前の映画とつなげる構造とかはあるんですかね。まあ全然違うあれですから。
そうですね。そこはもうなんでっていう話ですよね。やっぱりあれはあれなんだけど、今回あれとつなぎを実はついつま合ってないところがあるんで、それはもう漫画からもう一回やり直したということで、それはまた今回は新しくそれを全部こういう尽くし直したいと思っています。
Well, I think the film itself, it's a different story,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a different universe because
Okay.
it is sort of like a reboot for the franchise.
Okay.
So it is left open-ended because we are sort of open-ended about where it's going to go.
Sure.
But eventually they're going to have to reach Olympus.
Right.
But whether that will connect with the previous films or not. Actually, if you look at it, there's a storyline that kind of doesn't make sense now because the first movie kind of started out that they were separated and
Yeah.
she was surprised that he was a cyborg and all that. So it's better to start with a clean slate.
Sure.
So in a way, I think he wanted to make it as a reboot.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because from the first movie, I thought, well, maybe it could connect because she woke up kind of amnesia-ish. I was like, maybe they're gonna flesh out what happened and how they got there. But it's kind of cool that it's gonna be a reboot, so you can just kind of rebuild the storyline. That's really nice. I was really wondering, where do you get your ideas for some of the designs, like for Two Horns, like his real separated muscular structure as opposed to Talos and it's just real clean mechanical stuff. I mean, were there any external influences, something that we said, oh, that's kind of cool, I want to design around that for this character or that character?
キャラクターデザインに関しては、なんか双角とか、
はい、
そうなんかデザインのインスピレーションとかあったんですかね。例えばタロスのそういったクリーンななんかかなり綺麗なルックとかね、そういったルックなんかインスピレーションとかなんか影響があったんですかね。
双角は一応原作にも出てくるんですけど、ちょっとやっぱりコミカルなやつが欲しいなと思ってたんですね。でそれを原作を探すと原作には双角っていうやつがいてちょっとやっぱりコミカルなやつなんですけど、まあそのままだとちょっと原作の双角はもう少しでっかくてスマートなやつなんですけど、それをやっぱりちょっともっとギャングのボスみたいにしたかったので、なんかデブったサイボーグとかに出てきたら面白いだろうなっていうのがやっぱりコンセプトで、それを、山田君というデザインとかをデザインしてくれたキャラクターデザイナーに一遍そのキャラクターとして落とし込んでもらって、やったんですね。だから筋肉とかあるのはもともとの千代さんの世界のデザインをできるだけ取り入れた人ですね。
When it comes to Two Horns, the character itself exists in the manga itself.
Okay.
It's very briefly, but he looks very different. And he's not a character like that. He's also part of the E-Squad.
Right.
But he's actually well built and not fat.
I like that he was fat.
Yeah. But I think he was when he was designing the Q was. Wanted to make him look like a gang boss, sort of like a downtown hip hop, that kind of a culture.
Yeah.
So he wanted to kind of refer to that, a lot of jewelries and
whatnot. It came through that it was kind of like those mobster ghetto bosses type style, which was really nice. I thought it was real fun, especially with the American voice actor for it. Really punched the idea.
Well, it was a happy accident that he found him. But he was great, and initially when he designed it, he did it with the same character designer who's done the last couple of films, Yamada, Mr. Yamada, and he's actually done a very good job coming up with designs. And at first, I was like, who is this? But and I think he had an idea he wanted to push, and it was amazing, and I'm actually amazed by it. So.
Two Horns, I thought he moved great, he looked great, just his mannerisms were just really like. It's kind of like he's not really the villain, but he's kind of the villain. I just want to root for this dude because he's just kind of cool. He's just like, yeah, let's go kill him. I don't care.
表情はね、あれなんですよ。やっぱりフェイシャルの担当の子がやっぱりもっと顔を動かしたいっていうんで、元のデザインを少し 分けてなんかもっと動くようなデザインに少し変えてさらにやってくれたんで、僕の中でもやっぱりすごく思った以上に面白いキャラクターになったんで楽しかったですね。
So I think the two horns itself, I mean, the facial, our animator, you know, initially it wasn't supposed to have that kind of expression, you know, but it was more mechanical, but our facial animator actually wanted to do more. And he really wanted to go for that kind of look, so they actually had to redesign bits and different you know, parts of the mouth and whatnot, so that we would have that kind of expression on his face, and so it turned out really well. I mean,
Yeah, I noticed that because the face is just really expressive. There's a lot more movement in the jaw, and the lower mandible comes down a little bit more to expose more teeth, as opposed to all those other cyborgs, which I thought was really cool. It also helped separate them up away from everybody else that wears his underlings.
やっぱり他のキャラクターとか全然なんか目立ってるし、ある程度なんか差別化してるからすごくいいし、なんかやっぱり顎の
この辺のね、
すごく良かったですね。
Good. Last thing I just want to say was I like some of your I loved some of your previous work on some you were doing a little bit of looking back in your background. I looked into some of the stuff that you did before. I had no idea you did design work for some of my favorite stuff. Like you directed the last Captain Harlock movie.
Oh, right.
You worked on the Transformers, Mask, Bubblegum Crisis, Skyred, Digimon Tamers, and the last Astro Boy. I was like, oh my goodness, this guy worked on so much stuff I love. This is so awesome.
Great.
It's kind of like a big nerd moment for me to meet you right now.
Oh, it's great. まあなんかすごい自分が好きな作品全部手掛けてますね。本当にありがとうございます。
Cool. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.